at 12 dancing princesses. There once was a king who had 12 beautiful daughters. They slept in 12 beds, all in one big room. When they went to bed, the doors were shut and locked. But every morning, their shoes were worn out, as if they had been dancing all night. Nobody could figure out how it happened or where they had been. Then the king made an announcement to everyone in the land. He said that if any person could discover the secret and find out where the princesses danced at night, he could marry the princess he liked best. He would also become king after the current king passed away. But whoever tried and did not succeed after 3 days and nights would have to leave the kingdom and never return. A king's son came very soon. He was treated very well, and in the evening, he was taken to a room next to the one where the princesses slept in their 12 beds. He was supposed to sit there and watch where they went to dance. The door of his room was left open so he wouldn't miss anything. But the king's son quickly fell asleep. When he woke up in the morning, he found that the princesses had all been dancing because the bottoms of their shoes were full of holes. The same thing happened the second and third nights, so the prince failed and had to leave the kingdom. After him, several other men came, but they all had the same bad luck and had to leave. Now, it happened that an old soldier, who had been resting after his service and could not fight anymore, was passing through the country where this king ruled. As he was traveling through a wood, he met an old woman. She asked him where he was going. "I'm not sure where I'm going or what I should do," said the soldier. "But I think I would like to find out where the princesses dance. Then maybe I could become a king." "Well," said the old woman, "that's not too hard. Just be careful not to drink any of the wine that one of the princesses will bring you in the evening. As soon as she leaves, pretend to be fast asleep." Then she gave him a magical cloak. She said, "As soon as you put this on, you will become invisible. Then you can follow the princesses wherever they go." When the soldier heard this good advice, he decided to try his luck. So he went to the king and said he was willing to try. He was welcomed just like the others had been, and the king ordered beautiful royal clothes to be given to him. When evening came, he was led to the room outside the princess's room. Just as he was going to lie down, the oldest of the princesses brought him a cup of wine. But the soldier secretly poured it out when she wasn't looking, making sure not to drink even a drop. Then he lay down on his bed, and in a little while, he began to snore very loudly, as if he were fast asleep. When the 12 princesses heard this, they laughed. The oldest said, "This fellow might have tried something easier." Then they got up, opened their drawers and boxes, and took out all their pretty clothes. They dressed themselves in front of the mirror and skipped around, as if they were excited to start dancing. But the youngest said, "I don't know why, but while you are all so happy, I feel a little worried. I hope everything will be all right." "You silly," said the oldest. "You're often worried. Have you forgotten how many kings' sons have already watched us and failed? And as for this soldier, even without the drink, he looked tired enough to sleep soundly." When they were all ready, they went and looked at the soldier, but he kept snoring, and he didn't move at all. So they thought they were safe. The oldest went up to her own bed and clapped her hands. The bed sank into the floor, and a secret door flew open. The soldier saw them going down through the secret door, one after another, with the oldest leading the way. Thinking he had no time to waste, he jumped up, put on the cloak the old woman had given him, and followed them. But in the middle of the stairs, he accidentally stepped on the youngest princess's gown. She cried out to her sisters, "Something's wrong! Someone pulled my gown!" "You silly thing," said the oldest. "It's just caught on a nail in the wall." Then they all went down, and at the bottom, they found themselves in a beautiful grove of trees. The leaves were all made of silver, and they glittered and sparkled. The soldier wanted to take something from the place as a reminder, so he broke off a small branch, and there was a loud snap from the tree. Then the youngest daughter said again, "I feel like something's not right. Didn't you hear that noise? That's never happened before." But the eldest said, "It's just our princes shouting for joy because we're arriving." Then they came to another grove of trees, where all the leaves were made of gold. And after that, they came to a third grove where the leaves were all glittering diamonds. The soldier broke a branch from each tree. Each time, there was a loud snap, which made the youngest sister feel a little nervous. But the eldest still said it was only the princes, crying out with joy. So they went on until they came to a big lake. At the side of the lake, there were 12 little boats with 12 handsome princes in them. They seemed to be waiting for the princesses. One of the princesses went into each boat, and the soldier stepped into the same boat as the youngest. As they were rowing across the lake, the prince who was in the boat with the youngest princess and the soldier said, "I don't know why, but even though I'm rowing as hard as I can, we're not going as fast as usual. The boat feels very heavy today." "It's just the warm night," said the princess. "I feel very warm too." On the other side of the lake stood a beautiful, brightly lit castle. Merry music of horns and trumpets came from it. They all landed and went into the castle, and each prince danced with his princess. The soldier, who was invisible the whole time, danced with them too. And when any of the princesses had a cup of juice set by her, he drank it all up so that when she put the cup to her mouth, it was empty. This also made the youngest sister uneasy, but the eldest always told her to be quiet. They danced until 3 o'clock in the morning, and then all their shoes were worn out, so they had to stop. The princes rowed them back across the lake, but this time the soldier sat in the boat with the eldest princess. On the other shore, they said goodbye to each other, and the princesses promised to come again the next night. When they came to the stairs, the soldier ran ahead of the princesses and lay down on the bed. As the 12 sisters slowly came up, very tired, they heard him snoring in his bed. So, they said, "Now everything is safe." Then they undressed, put away their fancy clothes, took off their shoes, and went to bed. In the morning, the soldier didn't say anything about what had happened. He decided to see more of this strange adventure, and he went again the second and third nights. Everything happened just as before. The princesses danced each time until their shoes were worn to pieces, and then they returned home. However, on the third night, the soldier took one of the golden cups as proof of where he had been. As soon as the time came for him to reveal the secret, he was taken to the king. He had the 3 branches and the golden cup with him. The 12 princesses stood listening behind the door to hear what he would say. The king asked him, "Where do my 12 daughters dance at night?" He answered, "With 12 princes, in a castle underground." Then he told the king everything that had happened and showed him the 3 branches and the golden cup. A king called for the princesses and asked them if what the soldier said was true. When they saw that they had been discovered and that there was no use hiding it, they confessed everything. The king asked the soldier which of them he would choose for his wife. He answered, "I am not very young, so I will marry the eldest." They were married that very day, and the soldier was chosen to be the king's heir.